it's me, Anya, and welcome back to Cozy Room Podcast.
Hey guys, it's Artie. Welcome back to Cozy Room.
Womb, girl.
Woo, girl.
Welcome to Cozy Room Podcast, where I discuss everything parenting and how we can be better and raise these kids. In this episode, I'm going to give you what you need. Just subscribe and keep up. Welcome to episode 38. My name is Shan. I am the mom of girls. I am the host. I am the creator. I am the editor. I am the everything. You can check out more from me on shanbypodden.com. Kids who talk over adults while they're talking adult things irritate me. I cannot stand it. Why haven't you, as the parent, taught your children not to interrupt? Why haven't you taught your children to wait? Now, if it's a toddler, I understand. But when your child is like 8, 10, 11, 7, where is the misstep? Okay? Where's the respect at? Because I can no longer focus. Why do you keep talking and they keep trying to get your attention loudly, rudely, and you expect me to ignore them because you have created this? It's okay. They do this all the time. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because if you don't correct them at home, they start interrupting the teacher, interrupting a police officer. And for brown-skinned kids, that's an absolute no. That could be their life. They start interrupting the elderly. They start interrupting a principal. Like, no one can manage a classroom or auditorium when one child thinks anything they have to say tops everybody else. So you have to create those boundaries at home. Because are you really going to sit there and keep talking to me and ignoring this? Because all I see is your mouth moving, but all I'm hearing is mom, mommy, mom, mommy. And they're like tugging or they're pulling you or they're telling you no. And it's just like, absolutely not. That's what I want to talk about today. Welcome to Cozy Room Podcast. Before we get into this episode, I want to do some table topics. I have the What Would You Do stack. You could get your own table topic stack on tabletopics.com. Use my code SHANBYPODDEN in all caps, the big letters, and you could get your discount off. They have different categories for your cards. They deliver fast, and it'll make a great gift. The first card I have, it asks, what would you do if you saw your neighbor blatantly overusing water during a drought? Honestly, this is something that I've experienced only living in Florida. And honestly, I don't care. I do not care. Because these water companies try so much to get over on people. And the idea that we're paying for water when we have oceans is like beyond me. You know, like Beyond Meat. Beyond me. Because why haven't we took all of the intelligent people and figured out a way to use the water from the ocean to go ahead and get in our homes so we can flush it, so we can wash our dishes? I'm not even talking about water to drink. I'm just talking about, why are we paying for water to flush down the toilet that has chemicals in it, fluoride in it, residue from pills in it? Why am I paying for the water that I have to clean my sink out with? Why am I paying for the water that the plants need to grow? Like, I don't care. I feel like it takes a very petty, miserable person to be like, hello, 911, yes. My neighbor, this is the 5th time they watered this week. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. Second question. Have you ever not returned something you borrowed and then felt badly about it? No, I don't borrow things from people. People always want to borrow things from me, like books. Oh, I need to borrow this, or a shawl, a cardigan. Oh, let me borrow this. Now, some are good about giving it back, but I remember those that didn't give it back. Like this girl named Nari that wore my shoes for gym and never gave it back to me. And there were some nice Nikes, and I can't remember the style Nikes it was because I haven't seen them repeated, because you know how Nike like to repeat stuff. I haven't seen them repeated, but I love those Nikes. Maybe I should look up the Nikes from that year and see if I can find it. It was like in 1998 or 1997 that they came out. Let me make a note to do that. 1998, 1997 Nikes. Because I want those shoes. Again, yeah, she never gave them back to me. And I remember, and I'm 36, okay? That was a long time ago. But yeah, I don't borrow things from people. I get my own stuff. Because I don't like people feeling like they have to remind me to do something that I got. Like, no, I bought my own. Let's get into this episode. When is it your turn to talk? When is it your kid's turn to talk? How are you introducing social skills and rules to your kid? And when should you do it? These are all valid questions, and I understand. Age 2 to 6, I expect the interrupting because they're still trying to figure out you, themselves, their dads, their siblings, their teachers. If I don't do this, what is this person allowed to do to me? You know what I'm saying? They're always trying to figure it out. But I do not understand when your child is 7 years older and interrupting you still while you're talking to another person, interrupting you while you're getting directions, interrupting you at the cash register when you're talking to the cashier, interrupting you on a phone call when you're talking to AT&T knowing you done waited 35 minutes and been transferred twice and hung up on once. Like, I do not understand why they don't know better by now. Okay? Absolutely do not understand it. I think self-control has to start early, and it has to start at home. And your child's best bet to be great in life is to learn how to control their impulses. And yes, something might be needed by a child, but whether or not it's an emergency, whether or not it's my coloring book ripped, whether or not is I want juice, whether or not is I just want you to scratch my back, mom, mommy, mom. But there's a time where that child has to learn how to wait, okay? Interrupting is a kid's norm, okay? Every child does it. I need for you to stop panicking and acting like your child has ADHD because they're interrupting you. Every child does it. It's normal. Now, if they're like getting really angry because you're not giving the attention and they purposely do it every time you're talking to someone, that can be like a territorial issue. That can be like, I can't stop this urge I don't like when you talk to people issue. And yes, go see someone about that. Help your child. But if you see that sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't, but they keep doing it and they're at an age now where they should know better, it's time for a conversation. 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 Okay? Teach your child manners. That is a part of them having manners. Even with adults. Even in podcasting. I podcast some episodes with other hosts or guests. And it's really about chemistry. And it's really about knowing when it's Now is your time to add something in. Now is your time to be quiet. Do not overtalk me. If you say, go ahead, you go, pause. Because by default, they'll say, no, you go. Still pause. And then you'll see that they do want to speak, and let them speak. I think that's the start. That's the start with you, with their dad, of when they're supposed to talk. Now, grandparents are way better than parents trying to teach their kids when not to speak. Okay? Because they done dealt with all of it before, even you. Okay? So sometimes grandparents will teach them. Sometimes you have to teach them. I think you need to teach them always, no matter what. Okay? Teach them code words that they can use. Tell me the blue crayon if it's an emergency. Okay? Let's say if you peed on yourself. Let's say if you dropped something and broke something. Tell me it's yellow crayon if it's just something they want to show you. And then you also have a code word where it's very important that you wait and stop interrupting me right now. Right? That's easy. Okay? That's a no-brainer. Okay? How can your child get your attention without words? If they hold up a 2 sign, y'all know what that means together. That's like y'all code. Y'all on the same team. If they hold up a fist sign in the air, like Black Power, y'all might have a code word. Y'all know what that means. If they rub their stomach with their hand open, they're hungry. Go in your purse, mom. Take out a snack and hand it to that kid. You know what I'm saying? Save the conversation. Save the Zoom. Save the engagement. Because it's hard for other people who do not know your child, do not understand your child's needs, to go ahead and block out and ignore what they're doing while they're trying to speak to you. And it's unfair to assume someone should understand. Everybody doesn't understand. Everybody doesn't deal with a kid that doesn't know when to not interrupt. Everybody doesn't deal with a kid who has a behavioral issue. Everybody doesn't deal with a kid like yours. And I'm tired of people pushing this. It's a kid. It's a baby. You need to do this. No. Stop pushing your child's needs on other people in passing, because it's unfair. Okay? I think it's very important for parents to have snacks and give snacks or activities to do while they know they're going to be doing paperwork, while they know they're going to be trying to buy this car, while they know they're trying to order the meals at the restaurant. That's why there's coloring books and crayons there, because the restaurants already know your children are annoying and they do not have the patience to wait for the food to come to this table. Give me something so they can leave me alone at this table. Thank you. Gracias. Okay? They know. They've been knowing. Okay? I was coloring at the table at restaurants with my parents. Okay? I understand. And I think it's very important, side note, that parents take their children to grade C restaurants. Let's say a Pizza Hut. You can still eat inside Pizza Huts now. Take them to a Pizza Hut. Teach them how to sit at a table. Teach them how to order for themselves. Teach them how to take the cup down to the side and sip out the straw of the cup. Don't sip on the cup. It's dirty. Sip on the straw of the cup. Okay, this is not your home. So they don't tilt the cup and spill it on themselves. Teach them not to have their elbows on the table. Teach them where to put their napkin, okay? How to set up the table when you're done. How to clean the table, where the condiments are. What are condiments like? Have a whole, discussion, a whole engaged date with your kids. So when you do go to fine restaurants, they know how to act. I do appreciate you listening. If you are not subscribed to Cozy Womb Podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Radio Public, who else? Castbox. So many places. Subscribe today and download episodes that help you or can help somebody else, and share it all over your social media, because I need more listeners. Because whether you like it or not, we are going to be affected by someone else's parenting and not knowing. And Cozy Womb Podcast is all about making parenting better. They know what to ask for. They know not to make messes at the table. They know how to share that space. When you keep your children in a bubble and you don't take them out a lot, and then you expect for them to act accordingly at a steakhouse, you think they're going to be able to act like they have some sense when you go eat seafood? Like, you gotta take them out. You gotta show them around. You gotta get them used to the environment. Same thing with interrupting you. Okay, practice your "you better stop" face. Every good parent has a "you better stop" face for their kids. I'm working on mine. Okay. With Ari, it's very easy. With Anya, I don't know what it is. This girl puts her blinders up and she just keeps going and she keeps going and she keeps going. But another thing you can do to make your child not want to interrupt you with people is they know what's going to happen when they don't interrupt you. Okay? After talks, errands, or stops with people, and maybe you're talking to the neighbor when you're pulling out the driveway, reward your child with an outing that's just for them. Maybe going out for ice cream. Maybe going out for smoothies. Maybe going to the cookie shop. Maybe even going to Five and Below. I like Five and Below because you're really not going to go too much out of pocket for things. But then maybe they could pick one thing under $10 that you get them because they were so good during the doctor's visit, or so good during you filling out applications. I don't know. But not interrupting you should also get a reward as they learn not to interrupt you. Now, I'm not saying every time they don't interrupt you, give them something. I'm not saying that, because you're going to create a "I do this, you do that" habit. But give them something to entice them to not. Just like if they did interrupt you, they going to get something. Might be in the car, might be at the house, but they going to get something. Okay, something's going to happen because you interrupted me, because you were disrespectful, because you embarrassed me, because, we already talked about this and you keep doing it. Something needs to happen. There has to be a boundary. Okay, not too long ago, a few weekends ago, after we came from the farm with my friends, we wanted to stop and get something to eat. So I stopped at the Jamaican spot near my house. And Anya interrupted me while I was speaking to the business owner in there. And she kept doing it. And I said, nicely, kindly, I told her to stop. And I kept talking to the lady. And she went even further as to say, why? But you should do this. And give her a tip. Give the lady that's ringing me up and talking to me about something that's not food related, give her a tip. Now, mind you, it was one of them weeks. It was one of them weeks where you just paid rent. You just paid a gas bill. You got money from the other parent, and it's limited money. And you're looking at your weekend with the kids by yourself. And you're looking at gas. And you're looking at the fact that you have to go to work for 5 days, Monday through Friday, and make this work. Make this money work. I was not in a position to be giving a cashier that's already getting paid to be a cashier a tip. Okay, I was not in the position, and she kept pushing it, and she kept pushing it. So she cornered me into tipping the lady money I didn't have, and I was upset because I already had a conversation with her earlier that morning at QT that's all the money I had for the week. It's not that I'm lying. She has this idea that I'm lying about having money. I don't know if anybody else dealt with that, but it's not that I'm lying about having. The money I have is already set to go somewhere. It's not staying with me, sis. But at the same time, you were a child. I am an adult. I don't have to explain that to you. It's rude for a child to overstep and dictate what a parent should be doing with the money. right? So back to the situation at the restaurant. I was upset at her, but I didn't scold her in public. I'm not into that. I'm not into embarrassing my kids in public, but what she did got her in trouble. What she did was very audacious and embarrassing for the lady because there was a lot of pressure on her, and there was a lot of pressure on me because the lady doesn't know my money situation, and she doesn't have to know, but she put her such in the spot because we were the only ones in there at the time because they had just opened. And I'm not embarrassing my kids publicly. That's not my thing. But in the truck, oh, she got a mouthful. Okay. In the car, we had words. In the house, we had words. And she was upset. But she understood. Okay. Anya has a problem with knowing when to not speak and when she has said enough. And if I don't correct her, authority on the outside of this house is going to correct her. And for a brown-skinned child, their mannerisms and what they say that may be right or maybe petty because of bad timing could get them hurt. And I'm trying to correct that with her to a point where I'm saving your life. And so we have to teach them not to interrupt. We have to get them comfortable with not doing that, okay? So please correct your kids at home so when they're out and about with teachers, bus drivers, principals, other adults in the store, a cashier, a police officer, when they're in restaurants and other people are trying to enjoy or celebrate a time, you're not that person at that table with that bad kid. Or you're not on the flight with the kid that's touching someone's hair or putting their feet between their seats. Like, check that at home. And that's it. That's the episode. Thank you for checking out Cozy Room Podcast. My name is Shan. You can contact me through DMs on either IG, the CZYWMB pod, or on Twitter or X. Sorry, Elon, X. You can find me on that app, the CZYWMB pod or podcast. Okay. I appreciate you. Every listen counts. Every review counts. Every purchase counts. The Cozy Room shop is open and I updated the fall gear. Thank you. Peace.